Hello. Hey guys. So I'm in Pennsylvania, and look and see what I picked up on the side of the road in Pennsylvania.
Well, if you're going to describe me as trash, I might as well look like trash.
Yeah, and we'll talk about looking like trash. I look like a sweaty corpse.
We've been digging around in dirty things and antique things and dusty things all day.
Yep. So here we are. I know I promised I would list the pop-up so people could plan on coming, but sadly I didn't do that, and we suddenly realized it was Sunday and we hadn't done our pop-up. So here we are, for better or for worse, and we're doing a project. We're making batting, and so with the ad break and everything, the starting ad break, what was it, like 7 minutes? This is all that we've been able to release from the cotton, the seeds.
No, wait, no, that's all Steph did. This is what I did. Because I'm not used to doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. The cotton project, or making our own cotton batting, we'll probably have enough for a pot holder by the end of tonight.
If that.
And then, so our other experimental archaeology project, it didn't go wrong. It just
didn't go.
It just didn't go. So we're doing a plan B for that. So stay tuned. We'll have some results there on Quilt Nerding and here. So you can watch us do dangerous things with kerosene to get the print out of feed sacks. And
yeah, basically instead of doing it together, we're gonna have to kind of do it separately, but then put it together. Mm-hmm. So we should run a bit like who lights their house on fire?
Yeah. Who calls the fire department first? And what fire departments are better? The ones in Massachusetts or the ones in Maryland? Let's hope it's we're knocking on wood. I'm knocking on wood. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is a safer experimental archaeology. It just may be a thing that takes us 10 years to have enough for a quilt.
I'm gonna look like a weirdo though, and it's one of those things when you're concentrating and your mouth does weird stuff. Oh. Like, I'm not one of those people that like sticks my tongue out up here, but I'm like, I'll be like.
Well, they always say like, what is it? Yeah, you didn't have your mouth right. So it didn't work.
I'm kind of just like, what's wrong with your face?
Well, you know, it's funny. Both my husband and my son can't cut with scissors without like.
Oh, they do the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do the
It's a funny thing. I don't know how many people are here live, but if you are a tongue out scissors user, we're punch drunk, by the way. We have absolutely not been drinking, but
zero. No, we're drunk on dust.
Yeah. I my allergies have definitely decided antique stores are not for you.
Yeah.
But we persist.
Yeah, it was something else. We've been to a few. We found some goodies. We've had some duds.
Yeah, you know, and it was interesting. Can you tell our friends about like the situation here in Adamstown, like with the extravaganza coming up and all that stuff?
So
this is very interesting.
So Adamstown, Pennsylvania is known as Antiques Capital USA. You can look that up. There's a website that lists we're staying on like 272 routes to 272 that has a ton of stores on it. We only hit a handful of them, only the ones that I historically like to go to when I'm up here.
The ones who already have you in their system.
Yeah, you can tell. Yeah, when I go, because you could stay here a week and like not hit them all. So there's that, and then 3 times a year they do this thing called Antiques Extravaganza, which for people that are familiar with like the Brimfield Antique Festival, like it's kind of like that in terms of its the draw of people it brings in, but all of the stores get more dealers, extra dealers. They'll have like tables outside for them. The dealers that are in the stores will jam pack their booths with extra stuff. The stores will stay open. They'll group together their hours and stay open later to like 7 or 9. And most of them will run discounts like 20 to, I think sometimes I've seen like 60% off. And the crowds will come running, because right next door to us where we are is Renninger's, which is that big antique flea market that's only open on Sundays. And then we also have another one next to us called Black Angus, which is the same thing. And there's another thing nearby called Chef's Grove, which is it's an outdoor like flea market thing. There's really cool stuff around here.
And I'm very curious about sort of the business model of only being open on Sundays from like what 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yep. I don't know how they make any money.
Yeah, somehow I guess it's worthwhile for their vendors. Oh, look, this is one that has a little hook on it.
Yeah, and what is the hook mean?
I think it's just the end of the seed.
Is that like really sharp?
Yeah, kind of, I guess, if you get it just right.
Yeah, I feel like, those little, when you needle felt, the little, like, things for the end of your fingers that you wear? Mm-hmm. I feel like you need that for these, too. But I don't know how well you'd be able to feel and pick stuff.
No, I think you need to have some real dexterity here to rip these things out. So what? We are 14 minutes in, and I've gotten this much.
I have this much, but I'm not done. This is my virgin trash picking.
Well, don't you remember when we were reading the quilters? And the women talked about it was some woman that talked about, like, she and her sister-in-law did, processed a bunch of cotton, and they had it in a big roll. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, like, they put it in the attic. So I'm thinking it must have been a really big roll. And then remember, like, the rats got into it.
Yeah, and they just lauged. I would cry.
They laughed and, like, washed it or didn't wash it. I don't know.
I would cry and light the house on fire.
The rats have been in my padding again.
Yeah, like, I would be this is really, like, obviously, I'm sure you get a system. Like, you're pretty quick at this so far. I'm sure if you've been doing this a long time, you'd be really quick at this. But I am a snail. Yeah. And I feel like I'm trying to pull ticks off my dog or something. Or I'm trying to, like, find ticks. Like, they kind of look like ticks.
They do. It's very well, and I was trying to look and see, like, is the first time I was trying to do this to see, I can see I can't get in the camera. It's right there. Mm-hmm. And oh gosh, my manicure looks like garbage. It's just really stuck in there. It, like, the little fibers are just part of the seed covering, I guess.
There's so much is grown in there, like, you can't even see it.
Yeah. So anyway, but it was really interesting. I don't know if I had shared this before when I talked about the cotton before, but how they always say, like, oh, it's an old quilt because you can hold it up to the light and you can see the cotton seeds in it. Well, the thing is, like, these things are hard. They're the size of a popcorn kernel. And this has still got a bit of fluff on it, but look at that. That's pretty big. You would definitely feel that. You would have to hold it up to the light to see it. It would
be like Princess and the Pea.
Yeah, and so what people are seeing when they hold those quilts up to the light and see, like, oh, I see these flecks in there, it's just like kind of the little bits of trash that sort of stayed in the cotton. Mm-hmm. It is not, or maybe it's maybe seed flecks or something, or it's from the cotton gin. Because weren't you the one who was surprised about how the cotton gin works? Somebody was surprised that I talked to. Yeah, it isn't nice and neat, like going, the cotton gin's not picking seeds out. The cotton gin's like,
oh yeah, no, I think it was.
And that's what people see. Are you done? Are you done? Okay. Well, this sweatshop is gonna fire you. So
so, like, how much you're picking up, like, bigger swatches than I am.
Well, yeah, so, like, the cotton bowl is, like, 4. Well, let me pick up my educational.
Yes.
My educational item.
Please
I have created.
Educate me.
My educational item.
It's very official. Oh my! I guess we should open that.
Yeah. So this is the pristine cotton bowl.
It looks like a tooth.
And this is the little thing that it came out of. Like, this little thing bursts open and releases the bowl. So it sits in there like that. And then so each of these little lobes, there's like 4 little lobes there. And then each of them has, like, 10 to 500 seeds. I actually have not counted how many are in each lobe, but it's a good number. It's probably like 8 or more in each little.
At least.
Each little lobe. Yeah. So And then, I have a little bundle of seeds there.
Trash.
Yeah, the trash. And then this is nice, soft. I've combed this a few times and it's nice and fluffy, but I don't have it in a bat.
So what would you do with it after that?
Yeah, so we got all that. So yeah, let me show you how you do it. So I know lots of our friends have experience with either needle felting or knitting or spinning, and so are familiar with this, but you use the combs. And I have been informed that although they look like dog brushes, the needles on these are a little bit different. They're a little bit stiffer, I think, because you want to be more gentle on your pets. And then you just comb it to align the fibers. And so you line the fibers, and then there's actually a way, like if you're a spinner, you know how to do this, where you kind of go backwards and it like pulls but I just do it with my hand and it pulls it off. And so then I didn't do a very good job with this, but then you kind of have this nice little piece and you just keep making them until you have, enough of them of the same thickness to lay out onto a quilt.
But nothing's like, you're not doing anything to kind of like hold those little chunks together.
No,
it'll just be the quilting.
Yeah, and once you get, like, I think that traditionally they probably had bigger carding things. Mm-hmm. These are small ones that are for needle felting, so they're they're cheaper. That's why I have them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you would like peel off that piece, and then I was reading something recently. I can't remember if it was one of the papers or something, but they said that like you peel that off and then you'd lay it in a box or lay it, so they're nice and neat, and then you would be able to lift them out and put them on the quilt. Yeah, so a lot of work.
Yeah, and here I am thinking needle felting pincushions at night while I'm watching TV is a lot of work.
Making your own quilt batting.
Maybe learning this is what's gonna like light the fire under my butt to make some more pincushions. Be like, well, at least I'm not picking stuff.
But you can see, I realize that this is just a tiny piece. You can see how nicely aligned the fibers are now. Mm-hmm. They will be nice for a quilt. But you can see like how fine you could get that. Yeah. And so I think that's probably why a lot of like really old quilts, even though if they're well used, the cotton has just sort of dissipated, and but they were able to get this like really thin. Whereas if you buy batting today, sometimes you could split it apart to make it thinner, but for the most part, it's like bonded in a way that it's not possible. You're stuck with the thickness you have. Mm-hmm. But I think that, these really old antique quilts, the reason why it's almost like they don't have batting is because they could get it this thin. Mm-hmm. And then also, if you're really feeling it, you can make yourself a little beard. When in Amish country. So good times.
The rest have been good times. This isn't as good of a time. But the shopping was good of a time. The eating breakfast was good of a time.
Yes, you guys, there's an awesome diner here. I think their address is Adamstown, isn't it? Because where we're staying is like a different Rainholes, but it's like all within a mile of each other, so I don't know.
Yeah, the town's very small.
Yeah, there's Adamstown, Denver, Reynolds. And they're all right here. They're all within like Ephrata is only like 10, not even 10 miles, I don't think.
No, so I don't think that far.
Yeah, but it's an interesting little, and right where we are is not exactly Amish country. No. We've seen a few horse and buggies.
We went to one of the first things we did was we went to Lebanon, Pennsylvania for the Lancaster Lebanon Quilt Show. Mm-hmm. Which while we were there, we did some repping for AQSG.
Oh yes, we have AQSG things to say, don't we?
We do have AQSG things to say. What a weird phrase. And because if someone didn't know what that was, what a weird phrase. But yeah, we did some
American Quilt Study Group. If you're not a regular cakelet or quilt nerd, American Quilt Study Group is what we mean when we say AQSG.
So we did some repping there. And talked with some people and took pictures of quilts that at some point will be on some stream. Uh-huh.
Oh, you guys, cannot. I bet you cannot wait to see the treasures we have found and the pictures we have taken.
There'll have to be some unboxing stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see,
We've got some really wonderful content for you all.
Yes. I mean, we did bring a couple of goodies just to entice people. I think I'll show my goodie now.
Do you want to show your goodies?
I'm going to show my goodies.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you have a break. This batting is not going to get made by itself.
So I found this like adorable little pear pincushion that at first I thought was a hot potato. And it's some kind of like just, maybe like an upholstery fabric that's got like a little leaf print. And then, added these cute little leaves here. And he almost kind of looks like a pineapple actually with these up here.
I think that those are millinery leaves.
Sure.
Yeah, like from a hat.
Oh. Yeah, and then he's just got a cute little back. Nothing like ridiculously exciting, just really, really cute.
Very, very cute.
And then I got a couple of, it was your stream, right, where I was showing trade cards? I think it was an unboxing I did.
Yeah, maybe.
Your stream. I got another little trade card. This one is the White is King, 600,000 white sewing machines now in use. And it's just like pretty winter scene.
That's very cute.
And
by the way, if you do sewing machine restoration or are interested in doing sewing machine restoration, don't buy a white. They're really hard to get parts for now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I mean they were very I guess ubiquitous back in the day.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Back in the oldens, but yeah, they're one of the machines that's difficult to get parts for.
This one is for Clark's spool cotton. Never mind Joni, I'll sew it up with Clark's. It will be as good as new and Ma won't know. Oh, I didn't even realize she's sewing up his bum. She's sewing up his britches. I think these are like Victorian like trade card ads are like just really cute. They can be a pain to find though. Like these two were just in this cute little box together, but then we hit another vendor's booth and I was like, oh look, this guy's got a bunch of cards and stuff like that. And then they're just jammed into shoe boxes, and I might have had the patience for that 10 years ago, but not anymore.
Yeah,
I grabbed like one little handful to look through and I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing, like you gotta bring somebody with you who has patience and make them sit there and go through it for an hour.
Which is not Steph.
Not me. I was like, no thank you. So I have two treasures to show. And I think I may have already shown one of these before, but it is a little bonnet. A little Sue might have worn this bonnet. But it is actually a needle book. So you open up, and there's the little flannel pages. And this is homemade. This is like one of those things like work basket or one of the sewing. So it's got a little snap to hold it together, and then your thread could go in there into the hat.
It's almost like a cross for me between like a needle book and a reticule.
A little bit, yeah. Or like just a little sewing kit.
Little bag.
I mean, just look at the cute little nice little stitches. It's just a very cute little doodad.
It is a cute doodad. I picked it up and was gonna grab it, and then she's like, "Oh, if you don't get that, I'm gonna get that." Here, you get it.
Thank you. And then this is my other.
We combed an entire massive flea market just for this thing.
It's a little tiny iron that's got a duck body or a goose, or I guess it's a duck.
Painted. I guess it's kind of a mallard.
Yeah. So so I had never seen one like this before, but you said you had one that was painted, right? Yep. And then so I bought this, and I mean, it was not expensive, like less than $5. I'll put it that way. I can't openly admit to how much money I've spent this weekend, but then we immediately found one at like the next antique store I went to.
And that's exactly what happens. But you know what you didn't get at the last antique store we went to is you didn't get one of those blue eyeglass things. Yeah,
because I wanted the one that was out in the parking lot that I'm sure was not $14.
Oh, I didn't see how much they were.
Yes. So, yeah, this is just such a cute little trinket. And I don't know, would you say something like this was like is it like a paperweight or is it maybe a little
sample?
It doesn't have any advertising information on it. So, I mean,
I don't know.
It's just
I've
cute.
never seen one like that that's big. So that makes me think it maybe wasn't.
Well, because there's no writing on it
a salesman
anywhere. There's no writing on it anywhere. So,
I don't know. I just collect those. I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't sell them, so I've never really done any like research on them. I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows.
Yeah. So we were on our way back here, like literally a half an hour ago. What were the things we were talking about that we needed to mention? We had a bunch of updates, and I was like, yeah. And then as soon as we walked in the house, I don't remember what we were going to talk about. So one thing, I'm going to need to sort of revise the schedule for my streams because I'm getting ready to leave. I'm back home for a little bit, and then I'm getting ready to leave for California. I'm going to a very cool retreat. A quilt nerd named Leah Zieber puts on like a quilt and textile history retreat. She's been doing it for I think 8 years. It's in Temecula, California, and
it's very popular.
It's pretty popular, and it gets sold out. But if it's something you might be interested in, first Google it. You'll find Zieber. It's Zeiber, and get on our list because you'll find out about it and before it's sold out. And it's I think it's a very reasonable retreat. It's several days, and it's like your meals are included and all that kind of stuff. But then some like kind of famous people that we like are going to be speaking.
I'm over here saying like I'm going with you. I'm not going.
Yeah. So it's just me. But so I'm gonna have to kind of revise the schedule. The next month is gonna be a little bit hairy, you guys. So I know that you all are always patient with me, so I appreciate that. And I'll do a better job of announcing which days are what. I know I forgot to cancel Thursday, but hopefully everybody knew I wasn't gonna be streaming on Thursday. And tomorrow I will definitely post this after we finish here, but tomorrow is definitely going to be up in the air whether I can get home in time to stream. I'm not far, it's not a super far drive, but just the things we have to do in the morning, like we're at an Airbnb, we got to check out, all that kind of stuff. We'll I'll have to consider it. If I stream tomorrow, it'll be a pop-up tomorrow. It may or may not be at my normal time. So,
Or you could be dead by the time you get home and say, I can't do anything. Like, I don't know about you, but that's how I feel when I travel.
Yeah. So,
we've had a whirlwind couple of days.
Yeah, and it's like after you've been to so many different antique malls and the booths and all the
you are violated. Like it is overload.
Yeah, I want to say this last one we just came back from. I was like, are you sure that we haven't? Hey, Stitch and Deb. I was just like, are you sure that we haven't already looked at all of this before? And you're like, no. And I'm like, I feel like I have. So, yeah, Deb, I do know Leah, personally. So I've never met her in person. I only know her from online, but really excited to see her in person. But yeah, this year, Mary Kay Waldvogel, our friend, and Xenia Cord are going to be the presenters. They have, I think each of them have 2 different topics they're going to talk about, and it's like super informal, and I'm really excited. So, but yes, Leah did. She just did a lecture for the Arizona Quilt Study Group. And that was in person, wasn't it? Because I get the email, because I've attended their Zoom stuff before. And so I was excited. I was like, oh, Leah's doing a thing. And I'm like, oh, it's in person. I can't get to Arizona.
I know. That really is kind of like, we're really lucky on the East Coast over here to kind of have like a concentration of groups that are really active. But it's a lot to get to go to everything. Because then there was also the group that Dawn just presented for, Mocha.
Yeah, and was that in Missouri?
It was Kansas, maybe. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure, but I know it's like Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, Arkansas, and they pick a place out of there. That was a couple of days. I really wanted to go to that, but like, man, it's expensive to like start flying.
Yeah, it's tough when you're not close by to something to be able to attend. And I think, I know people struggled over the pandemic with, not being able to do things in person, but I feel like I kind of got spoiled, because it was like everything was over Zoom, and that was a struggle sometimes for presenters to do stuff over Zoom, but
because not everything works over Zoom.
Yeah, but you knew you were going to be able to attend because it was Zoom. So I think we've kind of gotten spoiled for some things, but now that there's more in-person stuff, we have to pick and choose what we can do because
that's true.
Travel is expensive.
That's true, and you have to kind of save a goodly amount of money to go to seminar, which I mean that's like a whole week. So
seminar.
It's like a week. Yeah.
Guys, Jill and I are on the seminar committee for AQSG seminar, which will be in the beginning of September, and lots of cool stuff is being discussed. So, that's something. Check them out if you're not a member or if you don't know much about AQSG. Look up AmericanQuiltStudyGroup.org and look to see what they do because we're members and we have fun. It's cool. It's super nerdy.
It's very nerdy. I feel like it's the epitome of nerdiness.
Yeah.
It's never felt more nerdy.
Yeah. And I would say any kind of quilt study groups, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Deb, but any kind of study group that you participate in is like the utmost of exciting nerdiness. I love it so much. So what else is coming up?
Well, we have our quilt nerding on Tuesday.
Yes. Oh, and yeah, you guys, if you haven't had a chance to join us on Tuesday nights, I hope that upcoming you will be able to, because right now we're reading a book called Antique American Needlework Tools by Dawn Ronigan, and she has really helped us like up the bar on quilt nerding. We were sort of doing like it turned into a goofy book club.
I mean,
among other things like this.
So far.
But yeah, so Dawn has sent us like pictures that are not in the book. So like you're getting these like special sneak peeks at stuff, and
she sent us some really amazing giveaways.
Yeah, giveaways. Like we weren't even thinking about giveaways when we started doing quilt nerding. So if you are interested in that and you didn't know about it, look for quilt nerding on Instagram, YouTube, and we stream to YouTube, but all the details will be on Instagram. So,
and it's not too late to get her book and join us because we still have 3 more weeks of this book, and at the very end, we are going to have her as a guest on the show.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
And we're gonna do a special giveaway for that. That's going to be her newest book about sewing rolls.
Yeah,
so
it's a beautiful book. Both of her books are beautiful.
So if you like sewing nerdy, trinkety, tooly things, which I mean, I don't know how you can't because anyone that's doing any kind of needlework is using these things, then you're really going to love that book. And and she hangs out in the chat with us. It's really fun. We had the first one last Tuesday for this book, and it was really fun. It's been really busy in terms of the replays and people sending really positive feedback. Dawn also said she had a blast in the chat with us and stuff. So
that was pretty exciting that a lot of people have given us feedback because sometimes you just don't know. We're like talking to a computer screen and we don't always know how folks are interested in what we're doing.
I know, and the thing is too, Steph and I are also showing tools from our collection during that stream. So people had commented that we were very excited, we were very animated, because if we're showing tools, it's very easy to get that up close to the camera. Quilts are more cumbersome, to deal with when you're trying to live. It's not impossible, but it's just cumbersome. Yeah. And Steph brought her entire collection to the first show.
I won't do that again.
And excuse me, we ended up going like a half an hour past our generally projected time because we were having too much fun.
Yeah.
So stuff, it happens.
Shame on us. We have too much fun.
Yeah, it happens. And I don't know, there was some really funny joke that happened. I just don't remember what it was. But it was funny. So you should go over and watch that on the Quilt Nerding YouTube replay and tell us what you think, and then get yourself a book from Dawn, which would be autographed. And she ships quickly. She is on Etsy, and her profile is Collector WA Needle, all one word.
Yeah, I'll put that on here because that's sometimes hard for people to find.
And she's got some other really cool stuff. And on our Quilt Nerding Instagram, you can find the rules for entering the giveaways. And we're doing one giveaway a week. The next one will be a big applique pattern that Dawn patterned with her daughter. That's an antique quilt by Mary Witherwax.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy that from her because it's such a cool weird quilt, and it looks like I was looking through the her pictures of other people, I guess people that she knows that have made have made either the whole quilt or portions of the quilt. And I was like, oh, I could do a portion of it. It wouldn't be as
Yeah, for sure. You absolutely can.
Yeah. So,
anything else pertinent?
I don't think so. I feel like, again, we were driving back here to the Airbnb we were staying, and we were like, okay, we need to talk about this and this and this. And I can't remember any of it now. So I'm sorry, guys. My brain is totally fried from this weekend.
Well, there will be some unboxing stuff to do at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Steph has a bunch of stuff that she's purchased, like quilts and needlework stuff. I have a bunch of stuff that I purchased. Everybody loves the unboxings, so there will be time for that. There's also, I think I already said, lots of pictures we took from the quilt show.
Oh, and speaking of the online quilt study, the virtual quilt study that I wanted to do, and
yes.
Yeah, I think at this point we probably have enough quilts just to do our first virtual quilt study. So it's going to be a little bit, again, because of my travel schedule this month, but I will have that posted soon. And, of course, I'll continue taking, anybody who wants to submit.
Because that's a rolling basis, right?
Yeah. I'll accept, anything that somebody wants to share. And then as soon as we have 4 or 5 quilts to study, then we'll spend a stream studying. So, What else? I was getting better when I'm doing my stream at home from writing the things down that I needed to talk about.
Well, you're not normally doing a pop-up on the fly while you're peeling trash.
Stop calling it trash. It's not
the
trash.
Stuff you're pulling out is
it
trash.
Goes in the middle of the quilt.
But the stuff you're pulling out is the trash.
And what's interesting about cotton seeds is that you can press them and get oil out of them.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know that, and from a household perspective, that we would be able to get
cottonseed
oil out of there, but
okay.
Yes, the cotton product. You use all of the cotton, just like
for this much effort, I better.
You use all of the bowl, just like you use all of the pig, but the squeal. I don't know why I thought of that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm picking bugs.
Yeah. It's quite an arduous task.
But I could totally see where this could be kind of cathartic while you're just like watching TV, because you don't really have to pay a ton of attention per se.
Yeah, you could do it by feel. Yeah, once you get the feeling of how you need to rip the cotton off the seeds, you just don't have to look at it anymore. It's like shelling peas.
You know when I would do this? On a long plane ride while I'm watching TV.
Okay, so I am flying to California in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that was hint. So
I'm going to take this big sack of cotton, and my TSA is going to be like, what is this?
Yes.
And then I'll sit there, and luckily I'm traveling with my mom, so she'll be on one side of me. But whoever else is sitting in the row is going to have to put up with that. I don't think I'm going to do this on a plane, but that would be funny, wouldn't it?
I've seen weirder things on a plane.
This is true. It couldn't be any worse than people that take their shoes off and put their stinky feet near your headrest.
Gross. Or in the aisleway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know that I have really anything else really pertinent to add at the moment. We just wanted to
hey
make
JB. Yes. Oh, why are we carding cotton? Because I am making my own quilt batting. We were trying to think of all of the experimental archaeology we could do. And the one big one was getting the print off of flour sacks and feed sacks using the
traditional
early 20th century recipes, which involve all kinds of scary chemicals, which we have procured. And then the other one I thought was like the safer, less caustic thing was to get some cotton and make our own batting. And it's going to be a pot holder size.
Yeah, we'll be done in 100 years.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's probably the other reason why the cotton and some of those antique quilts is so thin, because they were like, this is a lot of work. I'm not making thick batting for this quilt. This is going to be a summer weight quilt.
Yeah. And you know what? Oftentimes when I have those quilts and I'm playing with those quilts, they feel the nicest.
Yeah, they do. They're snuggly. Hey, Yukano, how much cotton would you need? You know, I haven't figured that out. I probably, you know, I have a pretty big sack of it here.
There's probably somewhere that can tell you like a general.
Yeah. So this, I mean, I've used some of it. I sent Jill some of it, but this was a pound of hand-picked cotton.
That's only a pound?
Yeah.
Feels like it would be more.
Well, they sent you some of it, so, but yeah, that's a pound. So, I don't know. I feel like this could be enough to make a baby quilt. And so what a baby quilt.
Or like a doll quilt.
And that's probably where a pot holder is what we're going to end up with. But I don't know. So what, like a twin-sized or a full-sized quilt is kind of like 4 baby quilts. I'm just kind of mentally estimating. So maybe 4 pounds of cotton. I don't know. That is just an absolute guess on my part, but maybe that's something I can figure out. That's a good thing to add to this experiment is how much would you need to do a whole quilt?
Good luck figuring that part out. Unless you find it printed somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to have to research that. Surely it's got to be printed somewhere.
I would think so.
Yeah. My mom's over on the other side and she's she's nodding her head. She's saying, you can figure it out.
The square footage.
So you guys heard it here first. Steph's mom has agreed to figure it out.
Yeah, she's saying it's square footage or square inches sort of situation.
Well, one you can do, and then you can figure out how much you make a little test sample and how much you're getting out of that.
Okay, so it's like you make a swatch, like you're like in knitting when you do a swatch. Okay.
I mean, I'm sure if Barb shows up, our mathematician is gonna agree with her.
Our friend Barb was a former math teacher. She could tell us.
She probably already knows the answer.
Barb's like, you guys, why didn't you just ask me first instead of making these ridiculous guesses?
Well, I mean, that's part of the journey of learning.
Indeed. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Thank you for coming. I know this was like very, very impromptu pop-up. So I hope you're having a good...
Sometimes those are really exciting.
I suspect this is probably not one of the more exciting pop-ups.
You know something? If people, for some reason, people thought watching us watch an auction was really fun.
This is true. You guys, okay, this is a question. And I think I meant to ask this the other day, and I don't think I did. So Jill and I have been watching the social media statistics on our content. So both this stream and also the quilt nerding stuff that we do on Tuesday nights. And the auctions have so many views. And I'm like, why? Why is it interesting to watch other people watch an auction?
Well, it's not just watch. I usually participate.
I mean, we're buying.
But they're not actively watching my buying screen.
Right. But we're basically just watching an online auction and we're chatting about it. And
we're articulating and judging what other people are buying.
Yeah. And so I kind of thought, like, we both think that we're boring and like that would not be fun, but people seem to watch it and tune in. So I'm curious if anybody has any feelings they'd like to share about that. I would love to have some market research on that because I don't know. I mean, people tell me often what they would like to see and I know what they get excited about, but the auction thing has thrown me for a loop.
Yeah, at first we thought it was just going to be like a random one-off because it was, remember, the Mary Schaefer quilts that we were watching because we just read her book for quilt nerding. And then another auction happened to come up and I just was like, why don't we stream it? People really like the last one. And people also really like that one. And that one we had to do twice because I can't read. Got the day wrong. So the first day was just an auction like preview where we just talked about the quilts, and it wasn't a lot of quilts. It was like 8, 12, 15 quilts maybe. And then the next day we watched it, and Steph played a little her cats on quilts, cat quilt, calico.
Well, quilts and cats is the
So, and people. They really, now I got quite a few quilts from that auction, and then somehow so did Steph, even though she never bid on anything. And
me?
Yeah, and so I could see where that part might be kind of exciting, but
yeah, you convince a friend somehow to drive an hour and a half to pick up some quilts for you, and then you offer to give her a discount on said quilts if she wants any of them. She's going to take full advantage. But yeah, like, so have we seen, I mean, I know you have bought some quilts while we've been here. How are you feeling about the quilt game right now here in Adamstown?
In terms of
what we've seen, what you actually bought?
Well, it's not as much as it has been in the past, probably because I bought them all. When I came in 2022 and was doing really big buying because I was launching the business and building up inventory, I filled my car with 80 quilts. I don't have 80 quilts this time. I did definitely spend some money on some tops, and part of it too was I spent money on the auction before we even came. So I definitely feel that there's not currently as many as I'm used to seeing. But again, we're not, so that Antique Extravaganza, the very first one in the season, is at the end of this month. So we're potentially almost too early to see so it's like extra stuff.
The preseason.
But I don't know. There is only so many quilts. It's not like, I don't know if these dealers have a consistent, river of quilts they're being fed. And luckily I do shop for other things besides quilts, like the small sewing stuff. So, do I worry about drying up? I definitely do. It is a concern. It keeps me up at night sometimes.
When all the quilts have been claimed. Yeah. So your comment might be because we're surprised with the quilts we see at the same time. I don't know. Maybe it's just looking at the quilts and discussing, how much might it sell for, and oh, look at this. And I guess it kind of is the same as just doing one of our quilt studies, even though we're not in charge of the pictures, so we can't always guarantee, how close we could look at the quilt. Or
I think some of it might also be a little bit of the living vicariously thrill. Yeah. If I'm like, guys, I'm this number, I'm bidding, and then I'm like, I got it. I could see where that could be exciting, but there were many quilts I did not. I got beat out big time.
Yeah. I guess in that way, it's almost like watching a horse race. Or go. It's the rooting for us. Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, let's see. Hold up how much cotton you've done. I still have a couple pieces.
Do I have to put in a big ball? That you did all that? Are you lying?
I am not lying.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
No, there are still a couple pieces in here. Some seeds in here. I can feel like there's two.
I was gonna say, did you just take a big chunk of raw stuff and put the pretty stuff on the outside?
Yeah. There may have been this much was from my little bin, but yes, I did outpace you. I'm a much better employee of this cotton batting sweatshop.
It's my first time.
It's okay. It's all right. We all have a learning curve. But you're gonna have to up your output, or you're gonna have to be fired.
I wasn't getting paid fair wages anyways.
This is true. Yakama believes in you.
She told me I have to have all this peeled in the next hour.
Peeled. You're peeled the
Peeling.
cotton.
I'm peeling it back.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so this has been a really fun weekend. I mean, it's been like, I'm exhausting. You know, I mean, we started off with a quilt show and, you know, then we've done, has it been 2 days of, yeah, it's only been 2 days of antique, you know.
Well, we did hit an antique store the minute we got here on Thursday. We got here at like 3 or 4 o'clock, and I was like, you guys, I'm going up the street because I'm hitting an antique store right now before they close at 5. And it was a big one, and we were like running through it real quick. So we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 antique stores, so like malls of varying size. Most are decent size, some are pretty big, and then one big antique like show flea market thing. So it's a lot in 2 days.
It really is. And it's pretty exhausting. You know, like, I mean, this is your business, you know. I have a lot of respect. You know, I mean, I've been to, you know, obviously I've been to flea markets and I've been to antique stores and I've done all these things, but I've never done like the go, like a sourcing, and you're specifically looking for things. And, you know, I'm just kind of ambling around going, oh, isn't that cute? Oh my God, look at that. Oh my gosh. But Jill's like, you know, really focusing on what she's looking for, you know, for her business. And it's really difficult.
Yeah.
You know, just instead of just ambling around and looking at things that are cute and interesting.
Yeah, it's a lot of mental overload.
It's work. Yeah.
I am going to be very tired when I get home tomorrow. I don't want to look at anybody. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to think about anybody. And I just want to be alone in a room
with your quilt,
with a shower that has good water pressure. And I am going to sleep like the dead.
Yeah. You have not slept well here.
No, I have not.
But, you know, before we go, we need to get pictures of where we're staying because, y'all, this is a little Bavarian village. It looks like something that they plucked right. You know, actually what it occurred to me when my mom and I drove back earlier that, you know what it reminds me of? Germany at Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. It's these little, in their condos, you know, like they were just ordinary plain old condos, but they've painted them all these really cool colors, and they look like little, like, I don't know, Swiss chalets or Bavarian village kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is what they call it, right? The Bavarian village. So, yeah. It's very charming. And I was surprised to find out that the way these things are built, they're 3-story condos. And I guess it's like the bonus room is like what it would be called, just a regular condo. You're allowed to have a shop in there, like some kind of business. And the way that the one side of the units faces like like a parking and has a garage and stuff. And then the other side faces this little inner walkway kind of village, courtyard, villagey thing. Yeah, and people can enter your shop. And I was like, what? You know, I mean, not a whole lot of communities want their citizens, you know, running businesses out of their home, but this was built or has been, I don't know if it was not necessarily built for that, but it's been,
as far as I know, that's what it was built for. Didn't
you tell me that somebody here has like a bar? Or is that more of a
they turned it privately into a
it's
bar,
private, okay. But I did see there's 1 or 2 places here that says something about art or something.
Yeah, I think there's someone has like a little art gallery studio. Someone else had made like a little cafe. Like,
yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, you know, and
when I sent Stephanie the listing for this condo and was like, do you want to stay here? And then she was like, yes. Bavarian Village, thank you. Take my money. Like,
yeah, like, seriously.
Like, I've stayed here before.
Yeah, I seriously want to put on like some Lederhosen or a dirndl or something and go skipping out.
If she does, I'll take pictures.
Well, Joe,
we should probably eat some dinner.
Yeah, we should probably eat some dinner before we collapse. So,
well, then we have to pack the car.
Yeah, we gotta pack up all the stuff. So, yeah.
So yay for my little ball.
Yay for mine.
Mine's just like a powder puff now.
So yes. Oh, you have some units in California too, mixed use. Okay. Oh, but maybe it's not working out. Wondering, is it just like maybe it's just kind of the community as a whole? It's maybe a mixed use area is maybe just not doesn't jive well. Yeah. All right, you guys. So I tomorrow I will definitely post tonight to let everybody know that tomorrow may be a little sketchy depending on my travel home. But we'll talk to you guys this week. So, oh, nice shops that turned into insurance agents.
Yeah, that's a stinker.
Yeah, that's yeah. We used to have a cool antique shop near us that turned into a it's used appliances now. So, all right. Well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will hopefully well, not hopefully, hopefully you will tune in tomorrow if I'm able to get home in time for the stream, and then definitely Tuesday night. So, thank you guys for coming, and we will talk to you soon. Mwah. Say goodbye, Jill.
Bye.
You're supposed to say goodbye, Jill.
Bye, Jill. Bye.
There you go.